Welcome to the video number 4, Creation of Content for e-Enterprise. This lesson has been funded within the framework of the Erasmus Plus program of the European Union. This video lesson is dedicated to the creation of content for e-Enterprise and will cover the following topics: content types, content development approaches, creation of content, tips for content creation, useful tools for content creation management. Content could be considered as anything used to communicate with the audience: words, pictures, videos, polls, links, audios, and more. Content should be interesting, challenging, entertaining, and worthwhile to attract an audience. The first step for the creation of good content is to have a clear picture of your target audience or customers. You have heard more about this in the video e-Customer Analysis. Once you have clearly identified your target group, you need to think about the type of content. Whether you decide to develop one or multiple types of content is dependent on the resources at your disposal, the feasibility of the idea, and customer preferences. Overall, content can be audio, visual, written, or a combination of these categories. Audio content can be presented through podcasts and can be in the form of interviews, audio articles, or radio shows. Podcasts are often published in iTunes, Stitcher Radio, or Blabber. This type of content became popular due to many people's busy life and the fact that they often prefer to listen to something while commuting or doing some not so demanding tasks. You are probably familiar with the saying, "A picture is worth 1,000 words." Photos are incredibly convenient for sharing and can be used in the form of illustrations, quotes as an image, or specific types of photos, such as personal photographs, authentic images of people, and so on. Videos are the preferable way of presenting products, services, and ideas. Some studies have shown that 4 times more customers prefer to watch a video on a given topic rather than reading about that same topic. Information in a video are more digestible, easy to understand, and usually more interesting for a vast majority of people. Apart from web pages, this type of content is easy to share and distribute on different social platforms such as YouTube, Vimeo, Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, and others. Even though video content is more popular, written materials have some advantages related to search engines. We will speak about this later. Apart from that, writing does not require any substantial resources and can be easily shared on almost all social platforms. Some of the most popular and compelling examples of written content are blog posts, tutorial and guides, ebooks, books and programs, newsletters, white paper, and special reports. Blog posts are written materials in the form of articles that can be dedicated to your core or secondary messages. The length of blog posts can vary depending on the preferences of your target group and your capacities. The more specific a post is, the better is ranked by search engines. Tutorials and guides provide information about some aspects of your work or products. This form of written content helps you to build authority in your area of expertise. Ebooks, books, and programs, alike tutorials and guides, are an effective way to develop authority and trust. This form of written content can be sold on Amazon or offered on your website. Newsletters are a great way to build relationship with your target group by sending them news in their inbox and saving them the time from directly visiting your website. In the long term, the mailing list that you develop with a newsletter can also be used for sending offers. White papers and special reports help customers to decide on the products or services you have to offer. This can be an added value for followers or an incentive for signing up for your email list. You can also combine different types of content. For example, you could use infographics that are a popular and creative presentation of facts and figures. They are a very shareable combination of text and photos. Webinars are a convenient way of presenting information to a live audience. The content of webinars can be recorded, and slides from the presentations can be used as part of the content of your website, in newsletters, and in programs or products. Workshops can be seen as a possibility for sharing information. This type of data is easy to recycle and incorporate into other content types to add value. PowerPoint presentations are a combination of visual, audio, and written content and can be offered on your website and social media, turned into infographics, used in blog posts, or uploaded to SlideShare. There are a few possible approaches when creating the content for your website: original content, curated social content, and repurposed content. The basis of any content strategy is having original content. Even though it takes time and effort, in the long term, this approach will bring you authority and recognition of your brand. One of the strategies for the creation of original content is to develop a masterpiece content once or twice a month. The next step is segmenting the content into different types like videos, iconographic, articles, and so on, and repurposing it by distributing it on all channels you have established. As mentioned before, the main thing during the content topic selection and creation is taking into consideration your potential customers and their needs. In the case of curated content, you do not provide the content. Somebody else does. Your tasks are to find a relevant topic, the right content providers and audience, and to present the content in the best form possible. In addition to the central part that is curated, you should develop your own title, introduction, and summary. The most important things are to attribute or cite the source, provide information about the original version, and give credit to the author. In addition to curated content, you could also use curated social content. To help your customers stay up to date and not spend a lot of time searching for information, you can share links from relevant sources. This content should be related to the topic or message you would like to. The aim of content repurposing is updating or modifying content for it to be used by a different audience or the same audience but with a different goal. Repurposing helps in spreading ideas, provision of different formats, making content more cost effective, and so on. As with curated content, it is essential to give credit to the author. In case you have decided to create your own content, there are steps that can be followed in order to develop a new piece of material, regardless of the type of content you have decided to go for: written, audio, or visual. The process of content creation usually goes through 6 phases: select the topic and the approach, research, organize, write, cool off, edit. In the first phase, the author has to select the topic and the approach. The process usually starts from a broader question that has to be relevant for both the potential customer and the business. The focus has to be narrow in order to limit the amount of information presented. At this step, it is good to think about the most important aspects or questions you would like to address. This is the moment when some initial research can be done to see what others offer in terms of content and try to find a gap. Originality is a plus because Google bases its rankings on uniqueness apart from usefulness. The next phase is research. No matter what the topic is, you need to support your ideas with relevant information. These can be quotes, statistics, case studies, stories, or information from authoritative sources. The purpose of the research will be to strengthen and give credibility to your writing. You have to think about who your customers will be and what they need to know. If possible, use primary resources, since secondary ones can be risky due to the possible flaws in their interpretation. Always cite the most authoritative source possible, and if you're not sure about the validity of some facts, try to contact the original resource to check. In case your best source is not well known, be sure to add its credential and why it should be considered reliable. Also, try to choose the most recent content, limiting your research to the last 5 years. Remember to never use copyrighted information without permission or acknowledgement from the author in written form. Once you have narrowed down your topic, it is time to organize the text. The basic structure of any content is: introduction, part in which an author explains what the purpose is and what consumers can expect. Body, the most significant portion of the content that explains in depth what was announced in the introduction. Close, summary of the material with an explanation of what is the purpose of the text and the benefits for the consumers. Call to action, If possible, tell your customers what the next step is or what is expected from them. The fourth phase is writing. The first step is writing a draft version. In this phase, the focus is on writing down all the information you have gathered. This is not the moment to think too much about aspects such as the text flow or connection between parts. You should instead think about the prototype of your customer and imagine you're talking to them. When you have the body of the writing, it is time to start working on your introduction. The introduction can also be called a hook and has the aim of grabbing the consumer's attention and helping them deciding whether they will continue with the reading. The introduction can be written in the form of a personal story, a metaphor, reference to a current or historic event, news, a surprising idea, statistics, and so on. The purpose of the conclusion is to summarize the previous text. It has to be straightforward and simple. You should not include any new idea in this part. Finally, call for action can have different purposes. Consumers can be asked to comment, share, like, take concrete action, consider a different approach, and so on. A crucial step in every writing is to take a short break, at least one day, and focus on something else. It is essential for the next stage to cool off and have a fresh approach. The final phase is editing. This is again the moment to step into your customer's shoes. Editing requires a few hours of focused work. In this phase, the author has to evaluate the following things. Is the point of the writing realized? Is the content unique enough? Is it interesting? Are the ideas ordered logically? Does the content have a flow? Are there any spelling, grammar, or punctuation mistakes? One of the biggest dilemmas in content development is the correlation between quality and quantity. Putting too much focus on quality can become an extremely demanding task and potentially lead to huge delays. If you emphasize quantity over quality instead, you will maybe increase bounce rates, but a customer will not spend time on your website or social media. As a result, both extremes are not welcome. If you do not have resources to publish quality content every day, reducing publishing frequency to 2 or 3 times per week can provide you with a more critical balance. It is also useful to define what quality content means for you. This does not always have to be long-form professional videos. It can even be answering some relevant question in a short but creative way. The most important thing for content is value creation. Promotions can be attractive, but these types of posts are not great for ranking higher in the organic or natural research results, and they do not have a significant value in the long term. On the contrary, being useful and exciting will attract more visitors to your site and provide you with a higher rank in search engines. Answering customers' questions and providing them with adequate responses will give you more followers. There are plenty of ways to be relevant and exciting, and, apart from having in mind customers, try to combine this with your skills and resources. Provide your target group with something you are exceptionally good at. If your strength is speaking, start with a podcast or with a simple video that will be covered with your voice. If your niche is visual, put the focus on that type of content. Content does not have a sense if it is not reachable and if your target group cannot easily access it. As we mentioned, despite the fact that pictures and videos are more attractive than written content, text is essential for web search. Namely, search engines cannot understand website without a structure and text included. Google Trend is a free tool that provides users with information about the frequency with which specific words, subjects, and phrases are searched. Various features of this tool support in understanding the most popular search trends. Thanks to this analysis, you will be able to integrate those words in your content to make it appear within the first results in the web. You can use Google Trends to understand your target group, find products for your e-commerce website, understand your competitors, and gain content ideas. Search engine traffic can hugely influence business success. Targeted traffic to your website can provide publicity, revenue, and exposure like no other channel of marketing. SEO or search engine optimization helps in making your website search engine friendly and better for customers. SEO helps in ranking higher in the organic or natural search results by optimizing your site regarding keywords, links, content, and other technical aspects. As a result, search engines recognize your content as the most relevant, and your website receives more traffic. In addition to this, Google's advertising platform AdWords helps in positioning your advertisement on top of the searching. With the help of AdWords, you will be able to target searches of internet users and make your offers visible when they look for similar products. Your advertisement leads them directly to your website. Unlike SEO that provides natural or organic search results, this service is not for free and you would need to pay for every click on your ads. Because of that, AdWords is also known as PPC, pay per click. To conclude, you do not have to choose between SEO and AdWords. You can use SEO for ranking high in organic search results and use AdWords to attract new customers who are still not familiar with your brand. The most important thing is to have your users in mind and provide content that is useful and relevant for them. This will bring success to your business in the long term. Content management is also a crucial step in content creation. There are different tools that can help you to manage your content better. Web users are increasingly involved in social networks. Google has even included in its ranking algorithms social media links as one of the main criteria for assessment of the content and the quality of a website. Customers are expecting to be able to reach you through various social media platforms and share the website content with their friends if they like it. Hootsuite can help you manage all your social platforms in one place by monitoring, posting, and delegating tasks within a team, scheduling posts in advance, and analyzing the content that works best. This tool is especially useful for people who are working on their websites by themselves. Content creation requires time. If you do not plan this, you can end up procrastinating. On top of this, the search results are more competitive than ever. If you do not do your keyword and competitive research, create an editorial calendar, define roles, and manage the creation and publication of content, you probably will not get a good return on the investment you have made. It does not matter whether you are doing this by yourself or you outsource it to somebody. You should always have an overview of what is happening, be aware of what your goals are, how you can reach them, and what resources you need. A calendar can help you with the organizational aspects, provide an overview about the content distribution over time, and help you to think strategically about the content in order to avoid duplication. The best time for posting some content depends mainly on which network you are using, the industry, and your audience. Finding out what is the best time requires additional research. The most important thing is to keep in mind that there is no magical moment to solve your publishing issues. A calendar can be anything used to plan, schedule, and organize content and other marketing projects. These include printed calendars, spreadsheets, apps, and so on. Professional design. As with all other things, the customer's first impression is extremely important. Very often, you will not have a second chance to attract the same person. A professional design can allow you to differentiate yourself from competitors. Your design and layout have to be homogeneous and flowing. Play with the graphic design, the colors, and the graphic text to reach these aims. Apart from that, be careful with possible grammar mistakes, since they could be considered as a lack of professionalism. Slogan or clear and well-designed logo. Be aware that most people will be staying only a few seconds on your website, and they have to understand very fast what you can offer. This requires a straightforward understanding of your identity and your logo. The header of the website, the name of your company, and your slogan are the first features that your customers are going to be aware of while they are trying to form an opinion about your business. Clear content. After the first positive impression, when visitors decide to spend more than a few seconds on your website, they want to know promptly whether your offer meets their needs. Because of that, it is important that your main information are clear, intelligible, and easily accessible. Furthermore, your homepage must be clear and not heavy, since your aim is to bring your customers to your products or services. And if they have to spend a lot of time reading general information, the chances are that they will probably leave before seeing what your products or services are. Testimonies and assessment about your products and services. Nowadays, customers used to check assessments and recommendations before buying a product or using some services. It would be useful to set a testimony section on your homepage. Specific section about your enterprise. A visitor often wants to know what kind of people are behind a specific business. If you are self-employed, it would be ideal to have a section which describes your background, who you are, your expertise, and, if possible, include a photo of you. This set of information may provide assurance in the eyes of the consumer. If you have a team, you can also include a section which provides information about the whole team. The main idea is to convey trust to the consumers and convince them that there is an actual team behind your business. Contact information. Ideally, your contact information, besides being included in the contact section, should also be included directly in your homepage. Customers are more likely to dial your phone number if this is highlighted and easily visible on your website.